Welcome back to Railbound. I'm Dear Darling, and enjoy the ride as we make connections and travel the world together. Well, last time we started, sorry, I'm like shifting around in my seat, you probably can't hear me. We started World 9, where we got introduced to, I don't know really what these are called, to be honest, but we got introduced to this sort of barrier arm, which only activates one time when something passes in front of it. So, presumably you want to hit the button. Wow, this is going to be a really weird one, is all I can really tell. So presumably we want these things to join up, but presumably... Why did you crash? Ah, because that crashed. Right, so we probably want you to, like, wait a bit or something. No, we want you to... Maybe we want you to wait? We still have 5 tracks. Why don't we have you join here and wait even longer? Whoa, because that's why I meant like this. Ah, that's 1, 3, 2. I didn't even realise. We probably want then you to wait here. Ah, but now number 2 is not fast enough. Okay, we need number 2 to make it in before the gate closes. But we need... 3 has to hit the button. So either 3 waits and 2 is the one which hits a button? What? Two and 3 can't merge tracks, certainly. This is a given. Number 3, that is a given. Number 3 has to hit the button. The question is, how do we get number 2 up there in time? That's not even fast enough. Wow. So either 3 has to hit the button again and do like a turnaround. I don't even know how number 2 gets anywhere, to be honest. Or I guess number 3 could join in whatever track number 2 does from now. But this isn't fast enough. So do we have number 1 wait? No, that can't make any sense. How would number 1 even wait? There's like not enough... Can number 2 even make it in time if this is how it goes? Oh, okay, number 2 can make it if that is what they do. But this will double hit the button. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it said number 2 should make it like this. I'm actually kind of surprised it doesn't. This is the same number of squares, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah! The button gets hit later. Right, okay. So picking up a person only delays about, let's see, how many squares? 1, 2, about 3 squares. So number 2 does not have a lot of time. Ah, so that's probably where number 3 needs to wait. Or something. No, number 3 has to wait here. Sure. No, it can't wait here because we can never put a turn there. So either number 1 has to be later, number 2 has to be faster, or number 3 has to be slower. Those all do not seem possible. Or the button needs to be hit twice. The thing is, with a button being hit twice, is number 2 gets really trapped down here. I'm currently in the camp of number 3 should probably be delayed somehow. I don't really know how though. because we don't have a switching track. So if we merge our tracks, number 2 will always follow number 3. So I think it has to be it can't ever be something like this way, because this just traps them. So what could it be? That's a good question. I'm surprised how difficult these base levels are, actually. I feel like the others, the base levels are reasonably easy. It was a challenge started coming in at the letter levels, but maybe it's this mechanic just... I've not realised how to use it to its full potential yet, you know? I want number 3 to wait, but there's not a lot of good places for it to wait. Why would we do this? There's no way we don't want number 1 to go through first. It's just incredible how cramped everything is. I don't know why we have so much space over here, though. That's the interesting part to me. So number 2 can make it like this. The problem is number 3 is trapped. It can't actually go anywhere. Ah, unless we do something weird. One, 2, 3, 4. Right, we need to hit it either one more time or something? Or number 1 needs to wait. It can't wait like that. That's never going to be triggered. I can't imagine we had to make number 1 wait. Because that means number 2 or number 3 had to pass in front of number 1, which seems insane. The answer feels like to make number 3 wait. But we can't. We don't have enough space to make number 3 wait. Is the answer we delay number 1? How and where can we even delay number 1? Don't ask me what I'm even doing. I've got no clue right now. So maybe number 1 doesn't go directly across. Maybe number 1 does something like this. This makes it really hard to reconvene though. So if we delay number 1, I don't even know really how we can properly delay number 1. I think this would delay number 1, right? I'm not really sure what I'm doing. What do we have to do? It feels too obvious maybe that number 1 should just do that though. I mean, because if we try and delay number 1, now we're ending up with a huge bigger mess. And I need to consider where this waiting thing needs to go. What do we want? We would not want number 3 to wait, but we can't make number 3 wait. Or we want number 1 to wait. It's pretty difficult to make number 1 wait. we'd have to do something like this. And the only thing that would accomplish would allow something to go in before number 1, which we don't want to happen. So number 1 surely has to take this route. We just had to delay hitting the button somehow. Which I want to be like this. But this is not possible because this just traps things. So, number 3. What can we do with you? It can never be like this. Because we always had to hit the button once before number 1 gets free. So this path has to be that. That's a forced move. We can't have a path going off like this. We could have a path going this way around. But this will make number 3 hit the button anyway. I don't know what this is going to do. Nothing of particular note. It just... difficult. This is like too perfect. But what can we do in number 3? And the answer is we can't really do anything. Which is why this is not really all that perfect. I wonder when we'll ever get like 4-way intersections. I'm really not sure what to do. It can't be this. I keep drawing it out, but it just cannot be this. Number 3 has to hit that. And this track either has to be this way or non-existent. So what does number 2 do? It's like number 2 needs to make number 1 way, but how? This just makes number 2 go first, which we don't want. Number 1 has to be before. And it's just, it's too slow this way. It's crazy how is this level so difficult? I must be thinking about this fundamentally in the wrong way. Is my only assumption. I've made assumptions that the only way to pass this level through this default setup of something like this is number 1 either needs to slow down, number 3 needs to slow down, or number 2 needs to go faster. We can't really make number 2 go faster, so the only things we can do is make number 1 or number 3 slow down. But we can't put a barrier in front of number 1. We can make number 1 take a longer path, but that makes it really difficult for number 2 to reconvene with number 1. Unless we have number 1 spin around like this. But why would we do that? It just makes number 2 crash with number 1. And number 3 can't even get out because we have an intersection right there. So this can't... It just can't. Can it? What's one of the simplest ways we can delay number 1? It's not like this, I guess. What can we do? Sorry. I keep just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something different to happen, but nothing different is going to happen. Number 2 just doesn't make it in time. But I can't delay number 3 like this. But number 3 kind of has to hit the button. Which is why I'm a bit confused. So maybe the idea is we need the button to be hit twice. But now we need number 1 to like slow its roll. But we can't have it slow its roll too much. We're going to spend all episode on this one. Number one, I want you to slow down. Is there any benefit for them both hitting the button? I mean, the whole reason I'm doing this is so number 2 can get behind number 3, number 3 can get behind number 2. But maybe it doesn't need to turn around. Maybe it could just be like this. But what can we do with this? I don't really know. How can we slow down number 1? It's not so easy. We do kind of have to hit the button again then. It's not... Number 3 needs to hit the button again, but not number 2. Or number 2 also needs to hit the button. So is there a way we can set up a turnaround thing over here? No, we can't even have it like this because this will just make them go off the track. I genuinely don't know what to do. The thing is, I can't understand. I can't figure out which part fundamentally is my wrong assumption about this level. Something I'm assuming is incorrect fundamentally, which is making it impossible to solve with my current attempts. But I don't know what part is fundamentally wrong. And that makes it, well, obviously difficult, and then by the nature of puzzle games, but I'm not really sure what I can do to rectify the situation. It just feels like, I guess the crux of this level is figuring out how I'm meant to use a barrier. There's not a lot of good places for the barrier. I don't think a barrier will be used to slow down cart 1. I feel like it has to be cart 3 or cart 2. But the only useful thing for slowing down cart 2 or cart 3 is before they hit the button. So maybe the barrier is... Which, like, because by the point number 2 and number 3, one of them has hit the button. We want them just to get to the end as soon as possible, basically. Because the issue is that they now are on a timer. If they hit the button, number 1 is going to be here. They have about 4 tiles for one of them to get through and hit the button again. So fundamentally, it's useless to slow down well, not maybe useless, but it feels useless for number 2 and number 3 to be slowed down after they hit the button, and thus it must be used for number 1. But number 1 is really difficult to slow down with a barrier, because the only way for the barrier to open is for number 2 or number 3 to pass in front of number 1, which defeats the point of number 1 going first. So I feel like there must be another way we can use a barrier, which is why I'm trying to think, is there a way we can set up something with a barrier to reverse the positions of number 2 and number 3? But the thing is, that doesn't solve the timing issue still. The problem with this one is we don't have enough time, not that we need things to be delayed. So where in my assumptions have I got something incorrect? Where in my assumptions does this all fall apart? And the answer to that is I don't know. But maybe there's some sort of mechanic we can exploit, such that if number 2 and number 3 are sharing a track. No, it can't be about sharing track. Because if they're sharing a track, then anything that the first one does will have procced whatever the numbers that the second one does anyway. So there's no way that we can exploit the barrier that way. What do we use this barrier for? The only thing I can think of is we have to delay them hitting a button. But the setup, there's not a lot of space to not hit the button, essentially. Mainly because we only have one track in here. We need 2 tracks to set up a barrier. Unless we don't. Which is highly possible. I feel like when we put this barrier down, it should make a button appear on the crossing or something. It does feel fundamentally confusing to me how this works. Unless, like, these both work. Okay, so that's why it doesn't. It's because any crossing either side can make it open. Like, I want to do it like this, but number 3 just gets absolutely screwed. I don't know. I think I'm genuinely just stuck on this level. I think we'll have to come back with a fresh mind next time to try and solve it. 9-10. Quite a stumper, huh? I feel like the solution is probably simpler than I imagine it to be. And I think if I'm to guess what I'm getting my assumption wrong, is I'm getting my assumption of what the barrier is used for in this level and the timings of how things need to work out. That's my assumption. Obviously, I don't know what part of it is wrong, otherwise I would have a solution by now, but I don't know. I think we'll just have to give us a good old college try next time, because for now, I'm stumped. So for now, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Railbound. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope you see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.